of ninjas dressed in black garb act with wicked intent in Tyron. They are members of the Black Spider Clan, and they act behind the scenes to hinder our progress. Do not let them leave Tyron alive.
You heard Iona's advice, Ryu, so make sure that you go get... Ooh, Golden Scarab. Yay, we need another one of those. So make sure that you go beat up the Black Spider Ninja Clan and do not make them leave Tyron alive. Hey everybody, this is RRPG, and welcome to another episode of RRPG Let's Play with Ninja Gaiden Sigma on the PS3. In today's episode, we are going to conclude Chapter 4, and then we are going to get through Chapter 5 in its entirety. And it'll be a short one, as it will cover the first chapter where you can play as the female protagonist, Rachel. But anyway, on with the episode that is already in progress, and as you can probably tell, I was using the Izuna drop when I was fighting against those Black Spider Ninjas, and that technique, the Izuna drop, will definitely save you in the long run. So be sure you use that very often when you fight against those guys, because they really are that big of a pain when you fight against them. So that technique will be very sufficient in your travels. So yeah, make sure you use it a lot. Okay, and here we get right here is one of the files that we can, view that will give us some information about some of the Black Spiders ninjas, or some of the ninjas who have fallen, given information that relates to the story, but most of the time they're just useless information, but hey, they may prove to be useful, but who knows. But hey, we got another Golden Scarab back there. Oh, that's 2 in 1. I mean, that's 2 so far in this episode, so we'll definitely get close to getting 5, and we'll get something that's gonna be awesome, but we'll see. Okay, now we just unlocked that door, above there at where that switch was, and that will get us to where Han's bar is located. And let's go ahead and pummel these SWAT team members, and then we will make our way forward to Han's bar. And yes, more Izuna drop goodness. Gosh, I really like that technique. I really like how it's improved in the sequel. Well, it's more the same in Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, but Ninja Gaiden 2 or Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, it's more deadlier, as they will decapitate enemies without ease. So yeah, it's wicked deadlier in the sequels to come, and I am anxious to see how much more deadlier that technique can get in Ninja Gaiden 3, and hopefully it will come out this year. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to it, and I am definitely anxious to see how they're going to take the gameplay for the third entry to, evolve it from Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, and Ninja Gaiden 2. So anyway, we made our way over to the front of Han's bar, but it won't be long until we get stopped by a couple of SWAT team members. But this time, they are going to be riding motorcycles, and what cheap scallywags these guys are. So, yeah, we are going to be fighting a couple of these, and then we should be able to conclude the chapter. But we will get treated with some FMV eye candy after this, so... And yeah, these guys in the motorcycles, they're pretty hard, so I would recommend that you use your bows against these guys, but I would also say that try to use your flying swallow in case if you want to get, in case if you want to get out of a pinch that badly, but it won't, like I said, the flying swallow won't always connect to your foes, so don't let that discourage you. And okay, let's see. But after you get them off of their motorcycles, that's when you can, truly lay them to rest. So let's go ahead and defeat this one over here, and then we should be done. Yeah, give you an Izuna drop. Okay, now we got ourselves a Lily key, and we will be using that key in about the next couple of chapters. I think it comes around chapter 6 where we use that key, but anyway. Okay, now we're in the bar, and like I said, we're treated with some FMV eye candy, and right over there, that is the female protagonist in the game. That is Rachel the Fiend Hunter, and she plays an important part in this game's plot, so, yeah, and, when you look at her, she's definitely blistering with sex appeal. Just, by the look of her dress that she's wearing. Oh, my goodness. Ryu definitely has it with the ladies, doesn't he? You think they probably could have improved the facial features for some of the characters. I mean, it would have been nice to see, you know, different type of facial expressions and such. I know that Square Enix is really good with that, especially with their Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts titles. They usually put in some really good facial animations, and the detail, you know, and the expressions that they make are really good. But this game, I guess you could say it's kind of outdated. But hey, visuals are not what makes a game. It's the gameplay, right?
I'm looking for a greater fiend named Oku.
Yeah, if Isun from Okami came onto you, Rachel, he would call you one heck of a busty babe. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Jiggle physics! Yes, whenever it came to Tomonobu Itagaki, he was pretty much a pervert. I mean, anything that was within, you know, the Ninja Gaiden games or with the Dead or Alive games, there were two things that he always made sure that were in those games in particular: boobs and panties. That's it. Just goes to show you how much of a perv that, you know, the guy is. Well, it's not to say that you know, the Japanese culture, they do have their sex culture is really pervy, but yeah, that's just kind of the way how things are in Japan. I mean, they're different from us, and we're different from them. They have their own cultures, we have our own, so can't really blame them for you know, for what they have. But okay, that is Gamov right there, the guy in the trench coat that we just met, and he says that he's an acquaintance to Rachel, and you will see what he's talking about once as we get on further with the game, but we won't see his true intentions until we play as Rachel again, but not in this upcoming chapter, but the one in a short while where we will follow one of the greater fiends named Alma, who is Rachel's younger sister, who is a twin. It's either younger sister or older sister. I'm pretty sure it's younger sister, but they are twins. But okay, now we have concluded Chapter 4, and now we are going to get on with Chapter 5. And that, like I said, that is the first time where we get to play as Rachel the Fiend Hunter. And basically, we are going to make our way over to the Dwarku Monastery to view some more information about the greater fiends that are amongst us. So, ones that will connect into Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword nonetheless. Okay. And like I said, we are making our way over to the Dwarku Monastery, which is one of the districts over in the Vigurian city of Tyron. So, yeah, I guess you could say that's where the religious sanctuary is located. And of course, there's going to be some SWAT team members we are going to have to fight. And the weapon that we're using for Rachel, that is the Warhammer. Basically, that's a brute weapon that will do really good damage on your enemies, and you can finish them off really quickly. It's really useful when you fight against the red dinosaurs or the red reptilian fiends of some sort when you get to them much later. But yeah, it's a really powerful weapon. That and the Devil giant sword. And just like with the just like with every weapon, that can be upgradable, but you have to get Ryu Hayabusa to do so, because when you play as Rachel, you cannot upgrade weapons when you get to the Muramasa shops. So yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer, but hey, that's how this game is, so blame Yosuke Hayashi for that, as he was the guy who pretty much handled the PS3 version of Ninja Gaiden Sigma and Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, so it's not to say that they're both bad games. They each have their own merits. It's just that some of them have their own flaws as well. So, I mean, I do feel that probably this game's biggest flaw is that it did not incorporate all the levels that the first Ninja, that the first Ninja Gaiden had on the Xbox, because there were like 2 or 3 extra levels within the game. I mean, within that game, but it did not make it over here in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, so I'm a little peeved about that. And but there are some good things about it too. I mean, like the water, walking on water, for instance, where you can do that automatically. I mean, you don't even have to press any buttons when you do that. I mean, it's more of a common thing to do in the sequel, but it makes it a bit easier when you play this game. And also, I wanted to touch up that while we were visiting that Muramasa shop, we could get earrings for Rachel, because it's the same thing with the armlets that we can get for Ryu, as they do give different abilities and different power-ups. So yeah, it's definitely similar. But one of the things about Rachel that is different from Ryu is that she can also change her hairstyle. I guess it's just added in just for out of obligation, but I could be wrong. But anyway, here we have a new enemy. These are the Lesser Fiends. Basically, they are, I guess you could say, the hunters from Resident Evil, where they will just come at you and they look really demonic. But they're beatable, but they're about on the same par of difficulty as the Black Spider Ninjas. So well, it's not to say about their stronger counterparts, which we will see much later. But yeah, these guys are still a pain. So just watch your step. And yeah, they do expose green blood when they're struck down. But hey, that's fiend blood right there. Now let's go ahead and finish this up real quick, and I don't think we will get access outside of the gates after we complete this battle, as we are going to be heading straight into the Dwarku Monastery. So let's go ahead, and here we are in the front of the courtyard of the monastery, and there is a fallen ninja, but there are some more brown lesser fiends that we have to defeat, and I think there's about probably 4, 5, or 6 of these within the courtyard. So let's go ahead and show him who's boss. Now granted, I don't use the Warhammer that much in the game. I pretty much use the Double Arrow most of the time than the Warhammer, because I do think the Warhammer is more of Rachel's signature weapon to use. So I tend to just let Ryu leave that alone and let him use the giant sword instead, because that is his, I would say that would be more suitable for him, since he is more stronger than Rachel. So yeah, pretty much playing the Guts type from Berserk, or the Cloud Strife type from Final Fantasy VII, but I would say it's more along the lines of Guts from Berserk, because that's where, believe it or not, that's where, the whole thing where people with giant swords originated from. It pretty much started off with Guts from Berserk, where he has the big sword in the back, and that usually is a staple of his character design. And I think that tradition carried on, to other games, kind of like this, and Final Fantasy VII, and Devil May Cry, and it was a tradition that lasted for quite a while. And Sword of the Berserk, I would say Sword of the Berserk, I think that's what it's actually called in Japan, because over here it's just called Berserk. But that manga series is still running on. I'm not sure whether or not if it's on a hiatus right now, but it's still going on. It's not canceled, or it's not completed. So yeah, it's still an ongoing series that lasted for, I think, over 20 years. Gosh, man. That's a long time for a manga series to be running, but yeah, that's really impressive. And it's truly one of the well-written mangas out there, and if you can, see if you could try to track down, some copies of it. I know that Dark Horse Comics puts it out, and it's, like I said, it's really well written, and I think you'll really get a kick out of it. And it's probably one of the best mangas that I've heard people say that, they've read in quite a while. Okay, now we just entered the altar here, and we can destroy these pillars, but although they will not give us any, anything in reward. But there are some treasure chests in this area, which we got, and I think they did contain great elixirs of spiritual life, if I'm not mistaken. But oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, there's one right over here that I missed out on. I think it is an elixir of spiritual life, or a yes, it was one. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move forward here. And we should be getting close to finishing up this chapter. I think we just have to enter this library area, and that's where we will finish up the chapter for Rachel. And we will get to play as her again, but yeah, we should be able to finish it up pretty quickly. But, of course, we have some Black Spider ninjas that are going to give us trouble, and I think they do give Rachel quite a bit of trouble. I mean, when you play as her, when you fight against these guys, I think they are pretty difficult, and you have to use a faster character like Ryu to get the best of them, so just take your time and avoid their oncoming attacks, and you should be able to be fine. Shouldn't be much longer now until we get up further, so be a little bit patient here, and let's go ahead and finish up this last bit. I don't think there's any other enemies besides these guys that we had to fight when we're in here, so I could be mistaken, but I don't think there is, so let's go ahead and finish them up, and I think that was the last of it. And yes, we did finally finish that one, so let's go ahead and head upstairs to that one area where we will view the murals of the greater fiends here. And we're learning about them for the first time. And these are the main antagonists in Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword.
When chaos ruled all, the bloodlines of all the ancient tribes were mixed, and their traits were passed on to the fiends.
I guess they were just added just to connect this and Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, although the they do appear in that game, but I guess this was more of a just a connection story, I suppose. So I guess there's something to properly connect games down the line, but hey, if this is what connects to Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, so be it. I mean, so be it. Okay, and those greater fiends that we learned were Nikkei and Ishtaros, the main antagonists in Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, like I said, but they do have a more antagonistic role in that game, so yeah, if you haven't played that game yet, then shame on you. Go try it out whenever you can, but other than that, we have completed Chapter 5 in this game, and I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to end things off right here. So next time on RRPG Let's Play with Ninja Gaiden Sigma on the PS3, we are going to get on with Chapter 6 as Ryu, and we will see how far we get from there. So anyway, excuse me. So take care of yourselves, gamers, and I'll see you on the next episode. See you guys then.